Hello there, Grateful One. Thank you for joining me on our next step on the journey of coming back from fear as we look at our power of choice. Today's episode is focusing on yet another of our superpowers, the power of thank you. One Christmas, a parent decided that she was no longer going to remind her children of their thank you note duties. And as a result, their grandmother never received acknowledgments of the generous checks she had given. The next year, things were different, however. The children came over in person to thank me, the grandparent told a friend triumphantly. How wonderful, the friend exclaimed. What do you think caused the change in behavior? Oh, that's easy, the grandmother replied. This year, I didn't sign the checks. One of the stronger grips that fear can have on us is the belief that we don't have enough, that we are not complete, that there are certain things that have to happen or be obtained in order for us to be whole, lovable, or complete. It is these beliefs that make us work our hands to the bone, trying to make ends meet because we spend so much of our income trying to obtain all the things we think we should have so we can live how we think we should live. These thoughts of incompleteness also create this image of who we think we need to be in order to be lovable and acceptable. It is confusing when we're asked, what we want to do with our lives, because we come from a place where being is all we need to do. Just be. In this realm of conditional love, there is this vast requirement to be so many things to so many people in order to be lovable. These are all lies created for the illusion of the movie we are participating in. We can break out of the cycle of these thoughts by beginning to be thankful for one thing that we already do have. Then we can focus on another item to be thankful for, then another, then another. Go ahead. Let's start with one. All it takes is really looking around the room to find that one thing. Even if it ends up being that I am still alive experiencing this existence. There are many that breathed their last breath last night. We can also break out of the cycle of these thoughts of incompleteness by sitting in gratitude that I don't have to be anything other than I am. Thankful that at my core, I am a powerful, supernatural being made from unconditional love, who is unconditionally loved by the unconditionally loving creator of everything, the mother and father of all things. Wow. Just sit in that. Take some deep breaths and let that sink into your mind. Let that sink into your heart. Let that reality come into this facade of a world. See things more clearly. You are unconditionally loved. It is our belief that things should be different than they are right now that causes our aggravation and disappointment and desperation. One of the things that I love that Byron Katie says is that when our beliefs about life battle reality, it loses. Our belief loses. Our thoughts lose. But only 100% of the time. And that is so wonderfully true. I love that reality is our friend and will always show us the way back to our true self, even if it has to have us fail a boatload of conditional love laws. We may not like it at first when reality tells us our thoughts are not accurate, But when we find freedom, we are so appreciative that it did. So when an event happens in our lives or someone else's life, we have been taught a phrase, "I'm sorry that," but why are we sorry? When we believe that life has punished us or failed us or has it out for us, then yes, we can see why we would be sorry. But do we really have any idea why something is happening? Are we privy to the big game plan? Do we know what a good or bad thing is? We could choose to believe that everything that happens in our lives and the lives of other people is always for our or their higher and best experience. Why wouldn't it be? And that is where the question of our worth comes into play. When we believe we are not good enough to be unconditionally loved, then we imprison ourselves in a work camp of failure and punishment. Our choice. So when someone is going through something difficult, how could we respond? In our minds, we can see that person as unconditionally loved and that they have a deal with the Creator to experience these uncomfortable, temporary emotions in this moment while they're here. We can reaffirm their lovability by simply saying, "I love you." No need to rescue, because they don't need rescuing. When they are ready to wake up out of that choice they are making, then they will. Any words that come out of our mouth are about love, the proclamation of love, or they are words that have hidden in them a request to be loved. The power of thank you reflects back to us what we feel about our worth. When someone gives us a compliment, do we deflect it? Do we reply with things like, "Oh, that was nothing," or "You shouldn't have, that really wasn't necessary"? Or do we even point out what we think our failures are to prove we're not worthy of that compliment? I was attending a Dale Carnegie class at work, and one of the group assignments we had was to sit in a circle. It was like 6 people or so. And each person had to write a compliment about the other individuals in the group. And then everyone had a turn of sitting there as each person read their compliment out loud to us. And we were instructed we could not say anything other than the words, "Thank you." It was so hard at first. All the voices in my head wanted to de-validate their statements. But just saying thank you was so powerful. Next episode, we'll take a look at the power of now, that amazing ability to come back to this moment instead of being drawn into the past or into the future. Until then, try starting the day by saying thank you to the Creator, the universe, whatever higher being you believe in. When you first open your eyes, try to smile and just have gratitude for what is, because it is amazing. And remember, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Thanks.